Hello everybody, in this video we are going to be playing some Sylas Jungle, some gameplay here, on the current patch, which is before jungle nerfs. They have announced jungle nerfs, just generally, not for Sylas, but for all junglers, which is good because the role is completely broken, and yeah, this is the enemy team. Yikes. They have 5 counters to us. That's fantastic. That's about as many as they could get, considering that is their team size. But at least we know if we can perform this game, then there's nothing that Sylas Jungle can't do. So, I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. I mean, their ults aren't necessarily that bad. Cassiopeia's is good. Pantheon's can be good. Nautilus is, of course, very strong. But, yeah. Got a couple bad ones. Jason and Samira are pretty worthless. And just in general, they have a lot of point-and-click crowd control. A lot of ways to shut us down. It's going to be a really difficult game to do anything. We're just going to sweep there so that my Xerath can clear that ward. Now, Pantheon might try invading us, because we are pretty weak at fighting early. We do have a ward on the top side. I'm not actually sure where he started because I wasn't paying attention to the lanes. Usually a good thing to do. But I'm going to assume bot side because Jace looks like he's pretty pushed up top lane. I like to smite the Gromp. Dash over here to our wolves really quickly. Our bot lane is having to play against Samira Nautilus, as Jhin, Xerath, so if they do get engaged on, it's going to be a bit rough. Honestly, I don't think we can actually gank them at all. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia has cleanse mid lane, so it's going to be hard to gank her. But, you know, there's not really much to do here, besides just clear. And as you can see, the clear speed is extremely strong. We killed Raptors very quickly. I think Raptors are just very easy on most champions now, because the pet just does so much of the work, and because Sylas does have a lot of wave clear with his passive stacks and his Q, it does help with that also. Alright, let's grab that. So Aatrox said that Try was warded. They might have seen us. Oh, he is not gonna have a good time. Maybe he can live and we can get here. I walked around the super long way. But we do end up getting the kill on the Pantheon. That is huge. Refreshes our buffs as well. Now, I walked around this long way because I didn't want to get spotted on vision, because Try was warded. Even though I do have a sweeper, I didn't want to walk past that for the gank, but fortunately Aatrox was able to live that initial gank from the Pantheon, and then we were able to come in afterwards. We are just lurking mid lane here. Not really much we can do. Maybe if I eat a bit sooner. I was not actually expecting him to flash, so looks like Aatrox is dying top lane. We can come back mid here, maybe. I think Cassiopeia still has flash. I don't think she used it. Maybe if she walks closer to this side, or Pantheon shows up, we'll be able to react. And just like that. Very nice. Ooh, Pantheon missed his Q there. Very, very nice there. Alright, not bad. And we do jump over the wall for that kill as well. Alright. Now, hopefully you guys are starting to see how I'm playing. Now, I'm not a jungle player. Let me just, clarify that. I do not play jungle. So I might be missing some things that junglers would normally do just in general, but I feel like I'm playing this pretty well. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be 2-0. We're going to start building towards my harvester. I feel like we wouldn't be 2-0 and 1. 100% KP at 5 minutes if we weren't doing something right. But a lot of what Sylas jungle is about, you see, I kind of just skipped my camps and I stayed mid there, and we ended up getting 2 more kills. Now I can clear them. Now that I went back, of course, but... On this champion, you do need to prioritize fighting and getting kills over your camps, because you'll always be more effective at killing people than you will at killing your camps. That's just how Sylas is. Doesn't mean you should neglect your camps at all, of course, especially because now you're kind of forced to take them if you want to level up your pet, which is very strong. But, you know, I would say that it's worth to pass up some opportunities. Let's give that to the Jhin, just so we can spread some of the wealth around. And there we go. I mean, we're 3-0, 302, 5 KP at 6.5 minutes. We're just running around the map, slaughtering everyone that we come across. Ahri does have ult here. She should be fine as long as she doesn't get grounded. She goes, she's fine. Oh, I actually could have flashed on her. I wasn't expecting the Dark Harvest proc to pop up, because it wasn't showing on her initially, because it was on cooldown from when I did it on the Pantheon. But maybe if I was a little bit more experienced, I would have flash W'd. But I was pretty sure she still had ult, and I didn't want to flash directly into a stun and kind of waste that. So. This is solo duo, by the way. So this is Masters. Let me just pull up the professor right there. You can pause it if you want. That'll show the ranks and everything of everybody in this lobby. And that I actually kind of want to look at it myself. So my team actually has pretty good win rates. Let's see. I'm not used to the cost thresholds on this build. So a lot of the times, because I've played this champion so much, and I've just played AP champs a lot, I know a lot of the cost thresholds, so when I have a certain number of components, I'll be able to say, oh, well, I have enough to buy, just like, glancing. But I don't know that on this build. I'm a little bit inexperienced here. Fortunately, weren't able to save our Xerath there. Now, I honestly probably should have... Probably should have ulted the Nautilus instead of the Samira. I wanted to get the burst damage off on the Samira. So we're gonna get that and back off. Nautilus doesn't have mana, so we can't follow up. I do need to go back here. I've noticed, personally, that I tend to sit on a lot of gold when I play Sylas jungle, which isn't a bit of an issue because, you know, of course, if you're not spending your gold, then you're not actually getting the full effectiveness of, you know, the kills and stuff that you're getting. But, I mean, you can see here, I have my Night Harvester, Sorcerer Shoes 9 minutes in. My CS isn't great, but I have 5 kills already. Now, we have a 7-stack Darksteel. Now, the issue is their team comp is very anti-Sylas. So we are going to have to maintain this advantage and make sure that we're not putting ourselves in too risky of situations. Because we can very easily be punished for the slightest misstep. I'm going to take a Pantheon out here just because it is going to be so useful as the jungler. Actually, I had Smite. Maybe I could have smited him from that range. But we do have the Pantheon ult now, and the best thing about having a jungler is that since we're not showing on the map usually, the enemy team may forget that we have it. And so, you know, in a minute or so, when it's a little bit progressed, we might be able to get a surprise gank off. Or maybe we could do it right now if we get bot lane into range of bot lane. Oh, that was a bad location to ult there. Whoops. Well, actually, it's not bad, because it forces him into the Ari, and now Ari gets the kills, so. And we'll pick up that kill with a nicely placed E. So unfortunately, I don't think we actually could have saved our Jhin there, because our ult was just a little bit late, so we weren't in range until, you know, he's already being dove. So even though it looks like our ult missed, I don't think that we really could have done much better there. And it did end up pushing them into the Ahri and giving her a kill. And of course, we do want to spread out the kills across the team, because if we're the only one with kills, then the enemy really only has to focus us, which is pretty easy when they have Nautilus Pantheon. So, want to make sure that we're not the only target. I'm just taking Dragon real quick there. I've noticed in this patch, Dragons and Barons are very easy to kill. Like, you just absolutely shred them. Now, you're not going to be able to solo Baron. And I guess I've never really tried it, but I would say that you're not going to solo Baron on Sylas. I would say that pretty confidently. But dragons, you're not the best at taking them, but because of your pet, you actually do deal a lot of damage to them. So, just something to think about. You know, Dragon had like 7,000 health, and I took him in like 20 seconds. So, I think I actually am gonna get a Medjai's here, just because we do want to keep the snowball rolling. The team has had a couple of deaths so far, but hopefully we are able to kind of snowball this one out of control and get to a point where we aren't really afraid of them, even with their point-click CC. And we also have level 9 coming up here soon. Level 9 is, of course, a really big power spike, because that's going to get our W cooldown as low as possible, which is always appreciated. We have Pantheon on us. We can kind of run at him. Yeah. Yeah, the damage is insane. It's so disgusting. Yeah, let's go top for the Jace. I should have walked top instantly, but I saw mid and I wanted to go there as well. So Jace does get away. If I walked top, he might have died, but it's fine either way. We'll come mid here. Hopefully they keep fighting, because we can get a couple kills here and get our Medjai's stacks up. Now, whose ult do I want to take? Maybe Nautilus? I should have smited that to kill steal. Just because we do have the Medjai stacks, but either way, me and my team getting kills is fine. Drags up in 2 minutes, we'll want to pay attention to that. Pantheon is very weak. Now, a lot of what happens when you play Sylas, or something that's very common, is that if you get very fed early, a lot of champions that hard counter you, like Pantheon, actually become extremely easy to deal with, because Sylas is just very inherently stat checky, and if he has even the slightest advantage over you, he will be able to turn that into a huge lead, because he can always come back from the brink with his healing. And if your healing happens to be, you know, larger than the enemy's damage output, then they're never going to be able to kill you. Which is why you can take leads and turn them into massive advantages. So we're going to place our controller here, because we are going to buy stop our Nuclear Trodden. So, champions like Pantheon, who normally hard counter us, are extremely trivial to deal with in this situation. Now again, you know, if their entire team focuses us, then we can have a problem, but our main goal is to kind of assist the rest of our team, make sure that we're not getting caught out and losing our stacks, and to try and stack dragons while we can. So make sure that they're not on Rift. Okay, they're not. Level 11 is, of course, very nice. I think we can actually go for the Rift Herald here before Dragon spawns. I'm always looking at the minimap here. I mean, you guys probably see where my eyes are relation to the screen, but if you see me looking down, I'm always looking at the minimap. Because in situations like these, I mean, I'm playing PvE. I don't need to be looking at the Rift Herald all the time. I can kind of, you know, I know where it is, and I can use my abilities without really having to look. And so when they're all off of the map, it's better to just look at the minimap all the time to make sure that we can see them as soon as they show up. Now, my Ahri did end up dying, which is a bit unfortunate, but maybe we can go bot here. It's gonna point and click one-shot that guy. And get another kill on the on the Nautilus. 25 stack Medjai's is going to really be helping us out here. Probably didn't need to smite that dragon, but, you know, it's always... Man, I'm not really going to use it for much else, most likely, so... Don't really need to greed. I actually do want to stay away from Cassiopeia. She has a Rod of Ages, so she's kind of weak, but the champion does just kind of stomp Sylas. You know, I was talking earlier about how certain champions that are problematic become less problematic when you get more fed. Like, exponentially less problematic. But Cassiopeia stays problematic pretty much no matter what, because she can always ground you. She can always ground you, she always has high DPS, and so if, you know, you take a bad fight against her, then there's always a chance of dying. Probably should have given that one to my Jhin, but whatever. We are going to want to go back here soon. I'm just going to take my wrappers real quick because we're already here. But again, you know, as I was saying, one thing that I need to focus on, just something for you guys to think about, is you shouldn't be sitting on too much gold. Alright, now that we have our Shadow Flame, we're going to be doing much more damage. And because we have so much offense already, I mean, we're 400 AP, we are going to just go straight into defense by a stopwatch, by a cloth armor, just to minimize the chances that we ever end up dying, because if we do die, we're going to suffer greatly. Enemy team's going to get a lot of gold. And we're going to lose our Medjai stacks, we're going to lose tempo. So we need to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in a bad situation, so we need to make sure that that if we do get in a bad situation, we are going to be able to optimize our escape. Now, Jace was in this area. I can't sweep because I do still have the Rift Herald, unfortunately. Honestly, I'm not too great at using Rift Herald, something I should work on. But in this situation, it's kind of difficult too, I think. There's not really much going on. Not really much to push. Let's stay away from here. Maybe we can just put a bot or something, I'm not really sure. But it is about to run out, so... Yeah, I'll put a bot here just because we don't really have another place for it, and I want to get my super back up. Oh, I'm going over the wall there. I shouldn't have vision of us here. Pantheon's not on his Krugs. We're going to stay right here. We do have the stopwatch if we need it. Ahri's pushing bot lane with Rift Herald, so we're going to just kind of sit near her. Play off of her push. And there we go. Didn't need to use the stopwatch there. We did get a little bit low. It was a little bit scary, but I figured my healing would be good enough. And I think Xerath ended up sniping the Cassiopeia there, I believe. So nice job on his part. I knew that when the Ahri charmed, she was going to instantly cleanse, just because, I mean, she took cleanse for a reason. And so I was prepared that she wasn't going to be CC'd for long, and I went in really quickly. And we're just gonna one-shot the Samira there. And we're also going to one-shot her. Oh. Good thing we have Zanya's. She doesn't have our... I knew she didn't have W there, so I knew that we would still be able to get a W off before the Zanya's activated. Taking tower aggro here. Oh, we better not die. Can't be ruining our score. We're pretty low, so I'm just going to try and end the game. I don't know if we can, actually. And there we go. Very nice game on the Sylas jungle there. I just got it queued up. Wasn't really expecting much, but yeah, we ended up completely stomping them. So let's see, who do I honor? I'm gonna be real. Our team was not bad, but none of them really did spectacular. But I will go with Jhin. Why not? It was fun. It's between Jhin and Ari. And as you can see, this was a solo duo game, so this is not like a platinum game that I'm smurfing in. No, I would say I smurfed that game, but more because we just completely dominated them. So let's see. Our damage was actually not that much higher than some of our teammates. I mean, we're the junglers, so we're not always interacting with people. It makes sense. And yeah, usually the healing with this build is not amazing. Yeah, 4,000 is fine. But again, because you're the jungler, you're not permanently fighting like you would be mid lane, so it's a little bit less action. So you should be expecting a little bit lower damage than you might be if you were playing lane. But either way, very excellent game, just kind of out of the middle of nowhere. You know, as you guys saw, we kind of did our first initial clear. We were looking around the map, seeing where to gank. Maybe it had a couple inefficiencies in our pathing, but overall we were able to just completely destroy the map. I mean, we were getting kills left and right in the middle or in the early game. Got super far ahead early, got that Magi, stacked it up to 25. Things did slow down a bit towards 15 minutes. Because we did have to play very cautious. You know, we're against entire anti-Sylas team. So even though we're really fed, we can get chain CC'd, we can get ganked by multiple enemies, and you know, if we got grounded by Cassiopeia or ulted by Nautilus in the middle of all of them by ourselves, we do very easily die, and so we did have to play that pretty conservatively, but it did end up working out. And yeah, I mean, just complete destruction. Managed to get every objective, I think. I don't think they got a Rift Herald, but we got 2 drags and a Rift Herald. And yeah, I mean, that shows the strengths of Sylas jungle. Now this is on live patch, so jungle is getting nerfed next patch. I think I mentioned that at the beginning, but yeah, they're just nerfing like overall some of the gold generation, some of the XP, and some of the damage that the pet does by a little bit. So Sylas is going to have maybe a slightly worse clear. As you could see, the clear wasn't that amazing in terms of health. It's quite fast, but you do end up taking a lot of damage, so maybe that'll hinder him a little bit more. But either way, I mean, I'd rather have an unhealthy fast clear than a healthy slow one, so I think it'll still be fine. But yeah, hopefully, you know, if you watched my last video and you were interested in Sylas jungle, hopefully this game will get you invested in it, because it's really easy to snowball. It's really easy to just go around the map and murder everyone. So, yeah. I think I've rambled on enough this game. So, yeah, I don't think I have really much more to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do like this content, you want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing, leave a comment. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.